Seems like we've been waiting for this all day. It's gotta be ready.
Let's see. I think we should go for it. Our slow cooker version of Cochinita Pibil, the classic Yucatan style pork, meltingly tender, cooked with achiote wrapped in banana leaves, a few pickled red onions on the top of it.
It's just like Yucatan.
But I bet they're not using the slow cooker to make their Cochinita Pibil. No, when you go to those little towns and you see the market vendors there with Cochinita Pibil for sale, you can bet that those guys have cooked it in the age-old method, buried in a smoldering hole in the ground. Boy, didn't we time this just right.
Yeah, there's nothing like pit-cooked pork at 8 a.m. in the morning.
They started this last night, I'm sure, so they'd have it ready to take to the market this morning. Hola, señor Silvio. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? This is Silvio Campos, my friend and pit cooking guru. He's got one of the most popular stalls in the market here in Tixcoco. Every day they make a different regional specialty so that they can serve all of the greatest hits of Yucatecan cuisine. On Friday nights, they'll build a huge fire in this pit, put their Cochinita Pibil in there, and then tie it all up so that they can unearth it the next morning and sell it on Saturday. Well, señor Silvio, ¿ya está listo para abrir?
Listo.
Ok, muy bien. Huele tan sabroso. ¿Cuánto tiempo estuvo enterrado?
Pues lo enterramos ayer a las 4 de la tarde. Y
wow, a las 4 de la tarde. Me imagino bien marinado, bien con achiote.
Con hojas de plátano.
Ay, qué rico.
Jugo de naranjas agrias.
Oh, sí, también, para darle ese sabor.
Ese sabor.
Wow. ¿Es posible que podemos agarrar unos tacos de la carne recién sacada? Ay, qué bonito. No, tiene la tripita, ¿verdad?
Sí,
también.
Tiene.
Wow, y las costillas. Oh, eso se ve muy rico.
Está caliente.
¿Está caliente todavía? Wow. Eso va a ser para Lainey.
Lainey.
Ajá. ¿Quieres unas cebollitas?
Sí, por supuesto.
Okay, muy bien. Ay, qué bonito.
Para usted, señor.
Muy bien, muchas gracias. También unas cebollas. ¿Y uno para ti también?
Claro.
Ok. You see what I mean? It's way better than our slow cooker version. There's just something kind of magical about the pigs they use, cooking it in the pit, this place. I don't know.
Wow.
I know you've eaten a lot of Cochinita Pibil, but I don't think you've ever eaten any this good.
It's incredible.
You're right about that.
I wish we could eat this every day. It would be cool to have a pit in our backyard.
Do you think we could? I'm thinking that just right over here would be the perfect spot.
Okay.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I've wanted to do this since I was a little kid, and this is going to be the absolute perfect place. It's kind of a shady spot in the yard where I can't get anything to grow. No low overhanging branches and not too near the neighbors. Lainey, let's get to work. Since this is the ultimate party food, and we're digging a pit in the backyard to make Cochinita Pibil, we've invited a whole bunch of friends for a big party tomorrow afternoon. Now, the first thing that I did was to go to the restaurant supply house and get this big brazier and then stake out the pit to fit that brazier, allowing about 6 inches of space all around, and then I added a couple more inches just so that I could account for the lining of the pit with some bricks. So we've got a rectangle about 33 inches by 37 inches. Now, while I dig the pit, why don't you go in and make the pickled onions and the habanero salsa to go along with the cochinita tomorrow?
No, I hate cutting onions.
Would you rather be digging the pit?
Good point. Okay, so pickled onions. We saw them everywhere we went in the Yucatan. They're really hard to miss. I mean, they've got that awesome bright pink color. And, well, they give you everything you could want. Tangy, crunchy, and sweet. And they're really good, especially with cochinita. And I really hate cutting onions because my eyes get all watery and everything, so I've come up with a better way. I use a food processor. Now, I know my dad would frown upon it, but, well, what can you do? So I'm gonna start by putting the onions into the food processor. From here, they go into a bowl, and they get covered with boiling hot water. They have to sit like this for a few seconds, and then they go and get the water all strained off. Now for the finishing touches. We add about 2 cups of lime juice and a hefty pinch or 2 of salt. These go in the fridge till, well, until you need to use them, really. Now I wonder how they turn that hot pink color. So now that those pickled onions are done, we're gonna do the other Yucatan style thing and do that really, really hot habanero salsa. Now, these habanero chilies, they're like fire. They're so hot. My crazy dad bought all of these, and I can't imagine why he did it. I mean, this could power a whole Panic at the Disco concert. Well, to make the salsa, we roasted some habanero chilies along with 2 cloves of garlic that are still in their skin for 15 minutes, turning them once in a while. Now, we've let them cool down now, so we're gonna take them over to the food processor where we're gonna assemble the salsa. The first step is to peel the garlic out of its skin. You wanna watch because the garlic is really tender on the inside and you really wanna try not to crush it. Now these go into the food processor and we're gonna put in the rest of the chilies. Now for the seasoning, the first thing that's gonna go in is a little bit of lime juice, and then a pinch or 2 of salt. And then for texture purposes, we're gonna add some water. Now you wanna get the texture to be between your normal table salsa and your normal hot sauce. Oh, I don't even have to get very close. I can smell how hot it is from here. Speaking of hot, I think I should go check on my dad. Impressive.
What do you think? Thank you very much. So are y'all done?
All finished.
Oh, good. I think I am just about done, too. Now, you know, the reason that I'm being so specific about all of this dimensions and making a square hole is because I know somebody that once made a pit in their backyard, and they made it huge, and they didn't make it to fit the size of their pan, and they lost all the heat when they tried to cook in it, and the food wouldn't cook. So what we've done here is to go down about 16 inches, and that'll give us, after we put the bricks in there, about 6 inches on the top of the pan, another 6 inches all the way around. That should trap in the heat perfectly for cooking our Cochinita Pibil. Okay, Lainey, now it's time for the bricks. Okay, I think this is gonna be the fun part. Start handing me bricks. Okay, we're putting the last 2 bricks in here. We've got the sides all lined with bricks. We've got the floor lined with bricks. And now we're ready to go on to the next step, which is building the fire. But it's a little bit too early for that. So why don't you meet me back here at 6 o'clock?
But we've only got a few minutes.
Not 6 p.m. I mean 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Can't believe I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do
Be
this.
quiet and start passing me firewood. Okay, so now we've got wadded up newspapers here, some beautiful dry firewood, and I've also got some fat wood here. You know what this stuff is? It's this special type of kindling that has got a wonderfully resinous material that just catches almost with a match light. So we're gonna put some of that in here as well and just distribute it all the way around. Then we'll light that newspaper. The whole thing will start a fire. And over the next several hours now, I'm just gonna watch this and keep adding more firewood to it until these bricks are just like glowing red hot. That'll probably take about 3 or 4 hours. Well, I guess I better get out of there now.
Well, I'm going back to bed.
So it's time to get down to the cooking of the Cochinita Pibil, the pit roasted pig. And we're making the marinade first. Lainey's juicing fresh limes, and I've got these packages of the achiote seasoning. You know, you can find it in a lot of the grocery stores, Mexican grocery stores for sure, but well-stocked grocery stores anywhere carry this achiote. It's that seasoning that they use down in the Yucatan. It comes in these little bricks. They're kind of the color of a red brick too. They come in the little cellophane packages, and all you have to do is to break them up into a blender jar, and we're making a lot here. So I've got 5 of these packages, and we need about a half a cup of fresh lime for each package. Now this contains not just the achiote seeds ground up, but also garlic and a lot of other spices as well. So Lane, how are you doing with that?
I'm done.
Ah, very good. Yep, about 2.5 cups. So pour all of that into the blender. Give it a good douse of salt, because remember, this is seasoning a lot of meat here. And then we're gonna blend it all until it's a smooth paste. Okay, Lane, I'm gonna ask you to pour that over while I spread it all over the pig. Now, I've got this pig, is about, let's say about 35 pounds, and of course that's gonna be the first question everybody asks is, where do I get a pig like that? Well, we have a restaurant, so I asked the pig farmer, could you butcher a pig for me that's going to fit into a pan like this? And he said, 30 to 40 pounds. I think that'll be about the right size for this. And I've seen them actually in a lot of the Asian grocery stores around Chicago. But lacking that, well, you could just go buy some pork shoulder roasts. They've got the bone in them. You could pack them into a pan like this, and you'd have some really good Cochinita Pibil. Okay, Lane, time to pour it all over there. And just smear it. Let it get all down into all of the crevices. This is highly staining marinade, so you want to make sure to either wear a latex glove like I am or not worry about the fact that you're going to have orangish colored hands for the next few hours. Okay, once that is completely all over them there, I'm going to put the last little bit of banana leaves on here. Now I have taken banana leaves from that we bought also in an Asian market, though they sell them in a lot of the Mexican markets around here too. These are the frozen packages, and when you pull them out, all you have to do is to just unfold the leaves like that. I've lined them into that pan, the one that I showed you yesterday that we built the pit around, and I'm going to put a couple more of them over the top of this to cover it nicely. Just, you don't have to be very exacting about that at all. Fold in the side, and then I'm going to drizzle on about a gallon of water. Just let that go right down into the bottom of the pan. This will create steam when we stick it into the pit, and it'll start the cooking of our pig right away. You want about an inch or so of the water in the bottom of the pan. I hope you've been doing your exercises. Ready to heft this thing down to the pit? Let's go.
How many pigs is this?
Okay, Lainey, just sit it right here.
Okay.
And put on this glove. And then we're gonna lower it down. You see how the coals are all, well, it's just embers. There's really no logs left, just some embers. It should be almost out, and the brick lined pit should be really hot. Okay, let's go in. Well, the water just came to an instant boil. You can smell those banana leaves and the fire. This is gonna be delicious. Okay, cover it up. Now I've got a very heavy plate, steel plate, and we want to cover it all up. Now you can see that there's some smoke coming out of it. That's because we've got all these holes around here, and it's allowing oxygen to get in and fuel that fire. So Lainey, we got to move all this dirt all over the top of this, so grab your shovel and let's get started. We got to seal this thing up really well to put out all of that live fire.
Is this really gonna work?
Well, we saw it down in the Yucatan, remember, at Silvio's. I think it's gonna work. Now, our pig was a lot smaller than Silvio's, of course. I think about 35 pounds is gonna take 4 hours or so, I think. He usually does his 8 hours, maybe 10 or 12 hours if he wants it to be super tender. 4 hours, just about the time I invited people over for.
Perfect. Just enough time to get my hair and makeup ready. Kidding. Kidding.
A few more shovels of dirt, please, ma'am.
If you insist.
Looks like you need a margarita there. Yeah. So we got that pig cooking in the pit. little salbutes to pass around for appetizers. You know, they're the little golden brown tortillas that are topped with that tangy Yucatecan chicken and escabeche. We got guacamole and chips, some jicama to dip in that guacamole as well. Mexican jarritos, the little soda pops, beer, and of course, we've got margaritas. What's a party without margaritas? We've got it all wrapped up now. How about a margarita for you? All right, there you go. This is our famous summer margarita. I won't tell you what's in it. Wow. You like it? Really good. You know what it's got in it? It's got cucumber in it, blended in it. So it's lime, orange, tequila, and cucumber. It's really good. I love this stuff. It's very, very light.
Some of these are really good. Yeah, they are.
Hey, everybody, anybody that wants to see me unearth the pig, follow me. Okay, Lane, we've got to clean this off really well so that none of the dirt falls into the pit when we open it up. How's that look?
It's looking good.
All right.
Okay. 3, 2,
1. After all the shredding of that pork, we're finally ready. Okay. There it is. Cochinita Pibil cooked in the wood-fired pit.
and pickled onions.
Okay, time to dig in. I actually sneaked a little bit of it already.